So now you're going to see factories getting built in America at a scale that you have never seen before. Okay, more than $10 trillion of factory builds coming. All right, and so there's huge amount of construction jobs. So I would say the first quarter of next year will be the best quarter of construction jobs this country's ever seen. And that's going to roll all the way through 26. So I think you're going to see GDP growth next year over 4%.
You do, 4%. 10 trillion over what period of time, Secretary?
Mr. Donald J. Trump, the President of the United States, during his term.
Guys, the clock is ticking. But hey, if you believe what you just heard, well, then I've got some oceanfront property for sale in Arizona. But for the rest of us, the recession is looming, with many analysts saying we've got just 90 days left to prepare. And if you hold XRP, crypto, or many other investments, you need to stick around and watch this video to the end, because in today's video, I'm breaking down what we need to do over the next 3 months to protect ourselves and preserve our earnings. I'll be covering the latest breaking Ripple XRP news, plus all of the other incredible, important stuff that I found to share with you guys. But as always, welcome back to the channel. You know me, JR, your favorite crypto dad, and you know what to do. Give me a comment, 777 down below, if you're feeling bullish, if you're feeling blessed, if you're ready to live your best life. And don't forget to smash that like button, hit subscribe to affirm it, and let's run into it. After hearing Lutnick say this, I'm going to go ahead and agree with Big Ed Z on this one. I'm hearing the same thing in my day job where I deal with contractors on a regular basis. This sounds like a bunch of uninformed BS. Construction spending forecasts for Q1 2026 are probably coming from numbers, jobs that started in late 2024, early 2025. But don't take the opinions for it. Take the data that's right in front of us. Andy Goldberg pointing out recession coming at the end of Q4 or early Q1 2026. Daily Op Capital pointing out that the mammoth recession coming in 2026 will be from a cracked labor market as the catalyst. This AI bubble also looking to be blamed for that. Global markets investor, bloody hell. The delinquency on U.S. commercial mortgage-backed securities has spiked. I reported on this about 2-3 videos ago, and it is continuing to increase. 11.7%, the highest it has ever been, way higher than it was by comparison to the 2007-2008 mortgage-backed securities crisis. And this is commercial mortgage-backed securities, pointing to the data that the banks are looking at unrealized losses. At the end of Q2 2025, U.S. banks are sitting on $395 billion in unrealized losses. I point to the Kobisi report a lot for a lot of the data because he does a really good job of putting all this together. And Endgame Macro comes out and says, while Kobisi's highlights of the rate cut record high is true, we do typically see when rates are cut moving into all-time highs, we see new highs forming about 12 months later. However, rate cuts don't come in calm water. We're looking at unemployment rising, growth stalling, and stress breaking things. This is an uncharted territory that we are entering, and it is expected to be turbulent. And we do see the data pointing to a bubble bursting as the catalyst. Something will be there to blame, and as history lesson shows us, every major tech or investment bubble bursts. The railway mania, the dot-com bubble of the 2000s, the shale revolution in the late 2000, early 2010s, and then obviously we're in the euphoria of the AI bubble at this time, up over 600% higher than the dot-com bubble's 403% in 2000, and that was a huge one with major corrections. Guys, who remembers investing in Amazon, buying Amazon, or hearing about it 1999, and it retraced down to what, 95% loss if you bought from the top down, and everybody just called it a joke. They made fun of it. And now here we are today, not doing much of our lives, most of us, without Amazon, especially if you're a crypto dad like myself and still ordering diapers. But moving on, we're looking at Wednesday. We're looking at the Fed rate cut. It's going to be the first time in 2025, and we will blame a weak labor market for that. Expecting 25 basis points on this, and this will be the third year since 1996 where the Fed rate cut will be at the same time the S&P is at record highs. And what happens next? You can see what has happened every time. This pattern has followed: 1929, 1965, 1999, and here we are again. What do we do to prepare for these times ahead? And that is where I'm going to break down 7 steps that you can take, 7 things that you can do, actionable steps that you can take to prepare for a coming recession, or even worse, a coming depression. All right, 7 steps to prepare for financial catastrophe, recessions, depressions, or just good things to have in your toolbox. Obviously, we're going to talk about these. None of this is financial advice. It's simply informational, educational, some entertainment purposes only, if I can sprinkle some of that humor in there to make light of it. But the reality is that we are going to be facing some questionable times ahead, and there's a lot of people that have questions on that. So first things first, I'm going to blaze through a couple of these steps. I'm also going to provide some links down below that will be very helpful for you. Let's jump through a couple of these first though. Number 1 is diversification of your portfolio. This is something that should be done anyways. You should never have too many eggs in one basket. But as we look to hedge out of certain investments in preparation, some people like to get cash heavy, things like that, moving into maybe hedging into things like real estate or other real assets. This is a discussion that's coming up in crypto right now. What are we doing to prepare for the rest of Q4 of this year coming up? We're expecting bull run kind of momentum that will give people opportunity for profit-taking strategies. And where do you put that after that? Are you in decentralized finance yield products, dividend stocks, dividend mutual funds, things like that? So again, not financial advice. I'm not going to give you the tips on which ones to put that in, but I am going to encourage you to jump at the link down below to our Altcoin Pro University, where you're going to learn about these DeFi yield opportunities and all the other education that goes with this. But let's move on. Number 2, building an emergency fund. The recommendation is having 6 to 12 months in reserves. I don't know about you, but the statistics are out there, and for the majority of Americans, I think about 17% of Americans currently state that they have about 12 months in reserve. That's a good number considering the markets where they are right now. I think 59% of Americans claim to have some kind of an emergency fund, but only 47% of Americans claim to have any kind of an emergency fund set up. And a staggering 59% of Americans claim to be unhappy or dissatisfied with their emergency savings. Have you assessed where you fall in accordance with those statistics? How many days, weeks, months could you last if the well dried up right now? Building an emergency fund is absolutely critical, and it can be done with proper diversification, as stated in step 1, dividend income or yield income that can be going into different buckets. Number 3, and it is debatable, but it is monitoring your credit reports. Some people feel that it's important to maintain that good credit score. Other people are doing things kind of independently financed. I guess it depends on what side of the fence you're on that. But the bigger reason we talk about monitoring your credit reports is to make sure that during harder financial times is that somebody's not messing with your credit. Yes, identity theft still plays a big part in it. I don't know how many times a day I get a text message alert from Coinbase and a handful of other crypto wallets and even my banking app from time to time with the 6-digit PIN code that was requested, and it wasn't by me. It is important to stay on top of this. Credit monitoring is something that's extremely cheap and really easy to get. Sometimes even free, just monitoring it on your own with things like Credit Karma and stuff like that. Number 4 is reducing debt, and more specifically paying off your highest interest loans first and moving on to your lower interest after that, chipping away at those. Another strategy inside of that, again, not financial advice, is actually utilizing a consolidation loan of sorts. And if you hold a decent amount of crypto, there are opportunities out there. We can talk about that at a later date where you can use your own crypto as collateral to secure a loan. Moving on, number 5, staking crypto. Now this talks more specifically towards the end of the cycle and getting into staking pools where you're going to be able to earn some APY as the market kind of shifts into the bear market. And this is great if you're doing something that's a long-term hold. Maybe you got a big old fat bag of Ethereum that you just want to park it instead of moving it into stable coins, things like that. And again, not getting into the tax implications of all of that. That's what Altcoin Pro University is for at the link down below. But staking is one of those opportunities that can not only earn you some extra dividend income in the bear markets or in the down economic times, but it is something that kind of sets you off, locks you away, and keeps your mind off of it so you're not stressing out about it. Number 6 is staying informed. And the first place you should be is right here at BULLRUNNERS and watching JR, your crypto dad, and getting all the information that you possibly can. I pull a lot of news from our Altcoin Pro University, daily updates by our industry experts, as well as X posts here. And we work tirelessly every day to bring these free videos to you, packaged nicely so that they're easily digestible. You could even listen to this in your car on the way to work, as most of it is just something to listen to. You don't even have to be checking out the charts all the time, because I'll do a good job of describing it as best as I can. And let's move into number 7 to wrap this up. And this is consulting with your financial mentor. And notice I did not say advisor. An advisor, financial advisor, is typically somebody that you're paying, and I'm talking about financial mentors. This is who you'll be paired up with if you join the Altcoin Pro University at the free trial link down below. Again, this is going through the education. You're going to see, obviously, the community involvement aspect of this, where there's going to be constant access to the community and to the teachers, the mentors that are in there. They're going to be able to help walk you through the steps while you are learning and you are earning on your own, something that you and you alone get to take credit for at the end of the day. It's an education that is worth its weight in gold or Bitcoin or XRP or whatever you want to call it as an analogy. And there you have it, 7 steps that can help you prepare for financial crises that are approaching us. But let's move on to the exciting breaking news in Ripple, specifically around XRP, that I know this is what you came here for. Right after we take a quick listen to this.
Settlement between banks. So today, if Morgan wanted to send $10,000 to London right now, the fastest way for her to do that is to drive to Newark or JFK and fly it there. Our view is, in a world of the internet, you can stream video from the space station. You should be able to do real-time settlement between banks, and we sell technology to banks to do that.
And the banks are getting on board with this because they know there's a lot of paper pushing and also a lot of money attached to those settlements.
For sure. So we have over 100 banks working with Ripple today around the world. I think the vast majority of banks, like 99.9% of banks, actually are paying other banks, the global money center banks like JP Morgan or Citibank, to make those settlements. So a lot of the banks are very excited about democratizing how these global payments flow.
There's a belief that, you could transform the global payment system over time. Although then the alternative argument is you need a centralized. You can't have it decentralized, that it actually benefits from efficiencies. I would assume you come down in the latter.
Yeah, for sure. I think anytime you can do something without that central counterparty, you're going to reduce friction, which is measured by time, cost, speed. So by removing that central counterparty and going direct from point to point, you can skip going from the Bank of David to the Bank of Morgan to the Bank of Mike. You just go directly to the Bank of Mike.
So if the immediate opportunity is efficiencies in this area of the actual kind of nuts and bolts sort of plumbing of the financial system, how does that relate to the value of the Ripple tokens or of the Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies? They're taking on a separate life, it seems, from the future of adoption of this technology.
It's a great point, and I think one of the things we all have to remember is that the value of a token over the long term is really going to be derived by its utility. What problem is it solving? How big is that problem? How many customers do you have? There's no question there's a lot of hype in this system, and I don't actually think that's a good thing. For Ripple, we use this digital asset called XRP to settle liquidity needs between banks. So today there's $27 trillion parked at different banks around the world so they can make payments between each other. Our view is you can use a digital asset like XRP to do that in real time. Because XRP has been so efficient, it settles a transaction in about 3 seconds compared to Bitcoin.
So it just passes through that currency for that period of time.
That's correct.
This could be perhaps the greatest revolution in financial technology since the birth of the internet itself. A lot of people are saying that. I don't know. What do you guys think? Yes? If you say yes, I'm saying yes. I think it's great that you're involved.
The upcoming Ripple Swell event and all the exciting faces that will be there is exciting enough. And then you talk about the European Central Bank, IMF, Fed, BRICS, all reportedly getting ready to test Ripple for the global reset. When you couple that with the XRP spot ETF tracker and this seemingly growing list of ETFs that are all coming up for a decision around the same time at the end of the month of October. And then you see this breaking news where we're looking at the supply of XRP token shrinking. Could you imagine what could happen with 11 spot XRP ETFs launching all at the same time? Their fund managers hoarding XRP for their accredited investors. The rules of supply and demand that's coming out of Kenny Wynn. I cannot stress this enough. This is an exciting time for XRP holders. Again, it's not financial advice. Don't run out and buy more just because we're talking about it here. But we're going to jump into the charts, take a quick peek, and see. We are still sitting over that $3 range, currently at $3.04 at the time of this recording. Obviously, these numbers are subject to change By the time you see this video, and these are my technicals, not yours, so again, not financial advice, but RSI is strong. It's in a good place. There's bullish sentiment around the crypto market as a whole. XRP obviously has bullish momentum moving in the technicals on this. And then we've got Fed news this week that should be bullish for the overall markets as a whole. We are poised to see the possibility of a breakout. Where are we going from there? Again, not a price prediction that I'm going to give you, but I'm looking at the breakout from this symmetrical triangle, putting us somewhere near that $4.38 range for a high. Does that mean we're all going to go there in one day? No, it doesn't. But we could be breaking to the upside and actually running up there without meeting a whole lot of resistance if we do get that momentum going. When we get into that $3.56, $3.70 range, that's where the resistance would come from. Taking a quick peek at the overall crypto market, seeing that we are sitting at $4.04 trillion total market cap at this time, is still in the green over the last 7 days. A good place to be there. 51 on the fear and greed index. That is a neutral place to be. Again, we're sitting right around 50, 51, 52. People are kind of sitting on the sidelines waiting for retail to come in. That'll be exciting when that happens. The CoinMarketCap 20 index, that's going to be at $256.94. It's down about a little over 0.5% in the last 24 hours. Again, we spoke on the fear and greed at a 51 and moving into the altcoin season index. Guys, we're at a 74. We keep moving up a little bit higher on that. Altcoin season definitely moving underway at this time, and the inflows for altcoins are sitting at $1.74, $1.75 trillion. But you're making all of this crypto. You're doing well. You're making good decisions. You're having fun with your S&P 500 sitting at an all-time high. Nasdaq doing well. Dow Jones doing well. Dixie dropping like a rock. Bitcoin's doing well. Still about $116,000 range, right in that place. So you're doing well in crypto, and you're looking to take things to the next level. I'm going to encourage you guys to check this out right now.
Do you love crypto, but are you worried about taxes shrinking your retirement nest egg? Here's the deal. Trading and selling crypto can trigger capital gains taxes, eating into your wealth. A crypto IRA fixes that. Per IRS publication 590B, traditional IRA gains like those from crypto aren't taxed until distributed. That's why we've partnered with iTrust Capital, a leading crypto IRA company in the USA, to sponsor today's video. And they offer institutional grade custody for retail clients that want to set up their crypto IRAs for retirement, leveraging top storage solutions like Fidelity, Wells Fargo, and Coinbase Prime to keep your assets secure. To get started, simply click the link in the description of this video, sign up for free, and fund your account with cash. They also offer 401k rollovers or crypto transfers, and you can trade 24/7 with just 1% transaction fees and no maintenance costs. As always, I'm not a CPA or financial advisor, so consult one for tax advice, and we do earn a commission if you sign up using our link below to fund your crypto IRA account, but that helps support value-based videos like this. And iTrust Capital already has over 200,000 crypto IRA accounts and over $14 billion in transactions, proving they're trusted by smart investors just like you. So click the link below, get started now by funding your account today, and let's create generational wealth together.
If you're still looking for a little bit more education on this and a little bit more clarity, I'm going to encourage you to jump into the link down below to start your free trial for Altcoin Pro University. This is where you're going to get bar none some of the best education that's in the industry, and obviously it's a 14-day free trial, so it's going to allow you to blaze through a lot of these classes on your own and really get your feet wet and get a good feel for it. But this is Altcoin Pro University, where you're going to have a community built into it. Obviously, you've seen some of the news that I've shared with you earlier in this video. But you're also going to see market updates. You're going to see altcoin picks, DeFi yield picks, airdrop picks, etc. And then obviously the classroom, as I just showed you. So if you got questions about technical analysis, crypto, tax, mastery, a lot of people have made a lot of money in crypto and don't know what to do with it, how to deal with the tax implications of that. And that is all at that link below. It's Altcoin Pro University. Free trial, but it's $97 a month to throw an expert in your pocket to be able to bring you guys this content. But that is what I've got for you guys in this video. As always, if you gain some value from this, please share it with somebody else so that they can learn as well. Also, give us a like, give us a subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Be blessed.